Mm. Hello guys and welcome to today's video, and today we're going to be talking about the most powerful agents in the world. So what are these guys and what do they do? So first of all, do you know that agents, the transfer world, or let me say the football industry, spent a lot of money on agents. So what are these guys and why do they spend a lot of money on them? Normally agents are now deal breakers, and let's just take for example the Premier League. Let's take for example the Premier League, not general statistics, just the Premier League alone spent 400 million in just on the summer transfer on agents, just in 2024, just on agents. We're not talking about this 2025, but just imagine the amount of money you spend on general agents, but just the Premier League. So it shows how massive the industry is growing. So agents are actually looked as deal breakers in today's society. So we're going to be looking at why are they so important in football. So normally, for a player, according to when FIFA regulated the agency, let's say the agency, because before 2015 it was like intermediary, and many people had, let me say, third parties representing players. But when FIFA actually took hold of the industry, like to say no, before you become an agent or before you want to represent a player, you have to pass an exam or you have to be an agent. So the famous thing that happened was also, like, everyone remember that Javier Mascherano and Carlos Tevez, when they moved from Argentina to West Ham, where they were being owned by third parties, which actually changed the industry in somehow for FIFA to look like, okay, to look at it in a way that, okay, normally we have to regulate this industry. If not, most players are going to be hooked with third parties and they will not be able to move. So this is how the details also came about, and FIFA had to also regulate the industry. So as from October 2023, the industry also became like there were no more intermediary. Everybody had to pass through the exam before you become an agent. So there's no more anything like, okay, parents have to represent their sons or the daughters who are playing football or whatsoever sport they are doing. So if you want to become a player, you have to go. I mean, if you want to become an agent, you have to go and take an exam now and also represent your son or whosoever you're representing. So as we said, 400 million spent just on agents in the Premier League. That's a whooping statistics that it's quite huge. Then talk less of other, like in Germany, other places. So you can see that there's a massive amount of money shifting towards the agents because they are deal breakers. So let's talk about the biggest agents in the industries. You have George Mendes, and you had the agent of Paul Pogba who passed away. Um, Also, there's also now this lady in charge. Is it people? Actually, I don't know her name and her name actually now, but it has just skipped my brain. But also, she's now running the agency of Mino Raiola, because they both founded the company, but she's now in charge after the late Mino Raiola passed away. So there's also Jonathan Ban, who was the agent of Gary Bale. There's also Dr. Eckhart, who actually managed Mesut Ozil when Ozil was on his playing days. So, but the big ones are like Jonathan Ban and George Mendes. The Mineral was a very top agent. And what makes them powerful? This is what we're talking. What makes them actually powerful? Why are other people not also powerful agents? So most of these people, they have a lot of connection, and why and how do they get this connection? So the first thing is they speak multiple languages. I'll take a case of the late Mineral. They said he could speak like 7 languages. He could speak Italian, Spanish, English, a lot of languages. So the main thing that we took out and when studying these people is that the big agents learn how to network, but apart from networking, they know how to speak the languages. So they are quite, let me say, if they move to South America to look for a transfer, then they are free to speak in Spanish because most of South American countries speak Spanish. So they can speak Portuguese and in Italian he speaks, and also he's very fluent in English and he speaks French. So most of these agents who are powerful make an effort of saying that okay, the language is a key, because when you're talking to a player, remember when the player is not comfortable in your language, it becomes a little bit boring, or he's not that happy because he doesn't know what you're saying. But the moment you start speaking his language, he's quite comfortable to come close to you. So if you want to become a powerful and a top agent, apart from networking, but you have to learn how to speak the language, which is that's actually what I'm doing. So I have started my Spanish classes because I speak English, French. I will be going to for also doing Spanish classes so that I can add that into my language vocabulary. Then I'll also be looking at other language like uh, the Portuguese and other one. But the first thing, as I was told by a top agent when I had a conversation with the agent of Mesut Ozil, he told me that you speak French, English, try to learn Spanish first. So that's why I thought, okay, it has to be wise. I have to go for Spanish before thinking of other options. But yeah, you have to always remember that football is a game of communication, and if you don't communicate well, you are going to be left behind. Always try to network. You're never going to always network with everybody and the person accepts. So the moment you speak to this person, the person maybe don't give you connection or maybe doesn't respond, you move to the next one. It's quite important. So this is how this is just a tip of how the top agents try to do the business, because first, the language is a big thing for the top agents. They try to realize, or they realize that communication is a big thing, and also networking. And one thing I also learned is that they try to network with a lot of clubs. They move around, they travel around, they try to network, they do things for themselves that it gives them opportunity to try to see maybe young up and 16 years old players coming to, and they try to sign them into the industry. So this is how the evolution of the top agents are, and there's no secret. It's just hard work, doing bits by bit every day and getting better. And before you know, when you are networking, you sign a top player, and that player, because you are looking for, because he's a top talent, the next moment you start moving him from clubs to clubs, and also other talents start following. So if you want to be a top agent, learn the language, keep learning the rules, and also keep doing what you're doing. Consistency in this game matters a lot. So guys, that was just a little bit of tip that I wanted to give you guys, because actually I'm also on the road trying to learn a lot of these stuffs, and also trying to meet part of these agents to ask them also questions on how they are doing, how do they stay top of the game. So guys, see you guys next time. We talk on other topics, but always football related. Keep an eye on tomorrow around 10 to 12. Yeah, stay tuned to the channel, and also if you have a question, do not forget to comment and like, share, subscribe. See you and take care. It was nice talking to you. Cheers.